It's your boy Guzman, Flare Balloons here for another two-tower chimp scenario. Today we're starring the Glaive Lord and the Carpet of Spikes. Let's get this show up and running. From what I can tell, the most difficult parts of this entire run are this beginning portion here and then the 50s before we get the Glaive Lord. Oh, we just managed to get that last one there. That would have been real embarrassing if we didn't get that. I always maintain that if there's a horde of them that leaks, then there's something of an issue with you. But if it's something to do with just one balloon leaking, then it feels like that's more down to RNG than anything else. And you. Improved rains. We've got red hot rains so that we can pop camo balloons. The other cross path in, like, playing normally is actually better than the 502 because of the bounce back of the update that's been given to it, so that the same glaive can hit the same target, which means, because they travel faster, it means they can go back and forth more times to a particular target and do more damage. But Carpet of Spikes in update 43 nerfs. The poor middle path spike factory keeps getting nerf after nerf recently. We do have Glaive Ricochet. Now our next objective is to get a spike factory down so that we can deal with camo balloons and later on lead balloons. Round 15, what are we going to do with all this sort of stuff? A lot here, and it seems that we kind of whittle down in firepower if there are fewer balloons nearby, especially if they're not next to each other, because Ricochet does rely on lots of balloons being nearby in order for it to have its maximum potential. We're going to place our spike factory down, and it's literally just going to be at the back of a track. It's not going to serve any mid-game function at the very, well, the start of the entire scenario here. It's just going to sit back here and pop anything that leaks from the Boomerang monkey and camo balloons. This particular combination has been done on over 20 maps in Balloons Tower Defense 6, so it's one of those more easier combinations to do as opposed to a hard combination like, let's say, Super Brittle and Special Populations, for example. Never ever do that unless you want to remove your hair out of your head. Automatically, not physically, but psychologically. Also, zebra balloons. Zebra, zebra, they both point towards the same animal at the end of the day, after all. Round 27. This is where the strength of the Glaive Ricochet lies. Just multiple targets all squeezed in one another, or not as close to one another as possible, so they can just bounce between each target. Lead balloons, not an issue here. That all goes down. The key to success with this particular combination is the Spike Storm timing in the 50s. If you time it incorrectly, then you won't have a Spike Storm ready when you really need it, which will lead to a run reset. Also, just all camo balloons on this round? Not a problem. We have our spikes at the back here. It just also means that we can have the most amount of spikes possible deployed down, although each spike pile does have a maximum amount of time in which they can be put on the field, regardless of how many rounds have transpired, before they just automatically disappear. It just means that you can't perma-store and be able to just create an unkillable wall. Yeah, so many targets for the Glaive Ricochet to take advantage of. We're going to wait until we get Spike Storm before we get more glaives, because right now we need to be able to spread our cores of the spike pile so that we can reach out towards the Moabs at the beginning of the track or anywhere around the track. Let's get Spike Storm, and then after that we're going to get more glaives than white hot spikes. We don't need the lead popping potential at this given point in time. Round 39, just like with the other rounds, that your boy Flare Balloons is getting on with the task. Well, actually, the monkeys are getting on with the task of popping all the balloons here. We have the regrows to contest with. Oh god, that was really close actually. That was almost a round restart there. Not a run restart, but just a round restart. More glaives is up and running. rainbow camos. No issues here. We've got just enough piles at the end of the track here to deal with them all. I think there are going to be some rounds which is going to be incredibly close as to whether or not we can go through that all camo round. There is a round in the 50s I need to take priority of, and that is round, I think it's 51 with camo ceramics, because we can't just rely on these spike piles at the end of the track here. We need to rely on Spike Storm in order to get through that scenario. Let's skip the white hot spikes now. Yeah, with Spike Storm, and I think it also affects Carbo Spikes as well, but the minimal amount of time that a spike pile that can last from the ability has decreased, and the maximum amount of time that a spike pile can last has also been decreased. And the Moab bonus damage has also decreased as well. And the ability duration in which it can come back from using it has increased. Ninja Curie really loves to say, hey, if you want your 2 Megapult supporting tower against a bad, guess what? It's not going to be as reliable as it was. Still reliable, but not as reliable. Nah, Spike Storm is too powerful, they say. Well, let me just say, it's a support for a reason. There goes the first Moab. Now, the second one we should automatically deal with the amount of powers that we have at the very back of the map here. Here's a moment of truth. That is done and dusted. Good. So with this particular one, we need to time it so that they're all kind of spread out throughout the track here. I'd like there to be a... Oh, no. Oh, thank goodness for that. Sometimes if it's just a lingering camo red bloom, that's pretty nice. So that the round goes on for longer, so that your Spike Storm comes back sooner. Now, I do think I need to use this, and I feel like I need to use it earlier on in the round. Penguin, penguin, penguin. Go in the water, please. And we shall use the Spike Storm now, actually, so that the piles back here can only deal with the Moab here, rather than trying to contest with the first Moab and the second Moab not really working. Yeah, and our ability is nearly back as well, which is good. First one, and I think the second one we're going to use it... Question mark? Yeah, we use it on the second lot here. No. I need to use it just a tad bit sooner. First one... And the second one's been damaged, which is good, and it can be left up to the glaive ricochet. Sorry, the more glaives to deal with the excess of that. But this third one, though, gives me a little bit of concern. Oh, good, and our ability is back up and running. Excellent. That's kind of just what we needed, actually, just so that we could just get through this initial part here. And I think the most difficult portion of this run has been done. Getting through the early 50s, because your timing of Spike Storm is incredibly important. If you don't time it correctly, then you're just going to have a run reset. Ability reliant usages is really annoying in a 2-tower CHIMPS run, especially when your name is Spike. Rainbows. This portion, though, could still see with a little bit of issue going on here. Yeah, it needs to use the ability just a tad bit sooner. I feel like just get through every single pile within the ability itself. And what have we got going? Okay, this is heavily damaged, which is really good. And also the ceramics were heavily damaged by the more glaives, so that's also pretty good. Ability now? Yes! Yes! We nearly got Glaive Lord! And we now have Glaive Lord. Now the run is pretty much set and done. Do we want to remove this? Nah. This is still going to be up for sale, and there's still going to be penguins living inside it, regardless of the relatively cheap price tag of sinking all these houses into the ocean, or the lake in this case. Camo lead's not a problem, because we now have the glaives that orbit around the Boomerang to pop the camo balloons by default, but also because Red Hot Rains is the only path or cross path you want with Glaive Lord, then we're dealing with lead balloons by default. Let's see now. You are going down, my friend. Fortified Moabs, not an issue here. Camo balloons, dealt by the glaives. And the ceramics, well, just once they get into the circumference of the Glaive Lord itself, they're just going to be absolutely annihilated. And then they all go down as well. Is 63 really a challenge when you have Glaive Lord? Well, it depends where you put the Glaive Lord, that is. You may put it on a part of a map where it just can't reach any balloons, and you think, haha, I put a Glaive Lord down. Surely I can go through this scenario. It can't reach anything on the track, you doofus. Our next goal is to get ourselves the carpet of spikes. And then once we have that, this run is pretty much game, set, and match. No question or shadow of a doubt about it. This run is completed. Remember when the orbiting glaives had an infinite number of pierce? Yeah, those were good old days. Remember when Absolute Zero ability had like a 75% reduction in Moab speed that they travel on when applied with permafrost in update 31, I believe it was? Yeah, those were good old days. People say that update 31 is like the most broken version of Bloons Tower Defense 6. The introduction of Geraldo, cleansing foam able to slow down the bad. Round 75 coming to a completion. Round 76, not even a challenge. Penguins in the water again, please. Round 78 is gonna just be like round 76, just with more victims involved. Round 79 coming towards the end of the round here. You didn't really miss much when it comes to the large amount of regrow rainbows, because this is why Glaive Lord is like an answer to almost anything at this given point in time. Just default camo detection with its normal attack is the only thing that it's lacking, but its orbiting glaives just makes up for that. ZOMG! That was a poorly when it comes to things which are RNG in the game, there are some people who are like saying that there's no such thing as RNG in Bloons Tower Defense 6. I digress, because the placement of each individual pile of spikes from both its default attack and the ability itself, and also its passive ability, that is something that you cannot truly determine. Yes, there will be on the track, but whereabouts on the track? That is a question. That's like trying to say to yourself, okay, I know there's going to be thunderstorms today, and I know that over ahead of me are some really ominous looking clouds, but not every single fragment of the sky is going to rain down thunder upon you, or rain down upon wherever it is. You know that thunder is going to come, but you don't know where it's going to come from exactly, and also when. There's also the flash of light that comes with it, but still, there's always some RNG involved, no matter how tightly compact a program is. There's always some element that, no matter how many times you practice throughout this game on a particular run, on a particular chimps run, on a particular 2 megapops or 2 tower chimps, there is always, and I repeat, there is always an element of randomness. Something that is completely outside of your control, which people maintain that there is absolutely everything in your control. Most of the time nowadays, there is a reason to go with one cross path or another, rather than just one of them being outright predominant than the other. Although I'm still looking at you, 502 Banana Central, and your sheer lack of anything over 520 aside from a bigger sell value. But why would you get 502 when 520 provides more anyways? Like, you use it to generate money, not to buy, then sell. That makes no sense. Round 91. Although that is probably very pivotal in some boss event strategies to sell absolutely everything so that you can afford your Apex Master or your Mad or your Goliath Doom ship. I would say tier 5 is understandable, but for the other tiers, it's like, you really want to maintain a finance rather than just sell absolutely everything because you don't have the money for that thing you need to get through the tier which you are currently stuck on. Round 92, going very well here. 403, 512. Yeah. As time goes on, the gap here should be closing up. We could even get a million pops each for both these towers. You may never know what is on the horizon. And right now, the horizon speaks to me. It says... Oh, it's not saying anything. God damn it! Right now it's round 95. What can we do against all of these purples? Well, for instance, we're not getting anywhere near the Glaive Lord because of our passive Spike Storm here. Normal Spike Storm, passive Spike Storm, the Glaive Lord orbiting ricochets, all the good stuff here. Round 97, 2 ZMGs to contest with, both of which with the fortified property on them, making them twice as tough as usual, or however many times tough that it takes to take them down. I like to think that it is too, giving them double the health. It's like a passive, double Moab HP buff to them, but also with the ceramics as well. Round 98. That could also be like another challenge I could do in the future, a 2-tower chimps, but the ceramic health is doubled, and the Moab HP is doubled as well. That could be very interesting, which will probably whittle you down into even fewer combinations that you can already do with a 2-tower chimp scenario. Just like with the ZMGs now, really. I don't know, there could be another fortified one in there somewhere. You may never know. Never know with these sort of things. Yeah, this is definitely what you call sorted. Round 99, not an issue whatsoever. Fortified DETs, just not a challenge whatsoever. Yeah, we're not going to get a million pops each because, yeah, not going to happen here. Now, no, I'm not going to restart just to get that little bit of a niche achievement there. And there goes down the bad. And the ZMGs that follow along with it for our victory here. Ladies and gentlemen of all proportions, sizes, shapes, and insert another word into there. Total cash spent 94,500, most pops 2,281. Undercounts actually when it comes to pops, because it could be like another few more added on. Well, we got a few more actually because of regrowers. So yeah, I think this is definitely like one of the best spots to put your Spike Factory in, just because of all of those camera balloons that spawn. You really need it so that you have as many spike piles down as possible. And yeah, the only difficult portions of this game is the beginning and also the 50s. Before you get Glaive Lord, let's just say. It's the beginning of the match and before Glaive Lord. Just before Glaive Lord. We could have done something else here, but this is 2-tower chimps, not 3-tower chimps. Thank you all so much for watching. Let me know what you thought of this video down in the comments sections below. And let me know if you want to see Glaive Lord and Permaspike at some point in the near future. Not too soon, because of the fact that, well, just get a little bit tiring if I use the same tower over and over again. I think there are other Ultra Boost scenarios out there that I should try and tinker into, such as the Archmage and the Warp. Yeah, that's going to be very fun against the purple balloons mainly. Thank you all so much for watching, everyone, and take care of yourselves.